Hey everyone, it's John from Red Viking Hobbies. Today I have the Redcat Ascent 1/18 scale rig that I'd like to introduce you to. Now for comparison, to give you an idea of what you're talking about when you're into 18th scale, this was the longest of the axial SCX24s, and we are right there. Pictures will be coming up. Wheel to wheel, or take a look here. You're going to see very similar in size, except when it comes to the height difference, well, we'll do it this way. Tire to tire, you're going to see it's a little bit higher. This is a portal axle vehicle. I'll be showing you the pictures on there. It is a clipless body system. It comes in gray, blue, and this red. Has a 180 style motor on it. The rims on it are plastic. The tires have pretty good grip. The Lexan body doesn't have any extras on it. They keep it really simplistic. It's tucked very nice away from the tires, but you should notice that the axles are actually kind of short because it is a portal axle vehicle. The clipless body system has this one little turn system in the back that allows for you to take the body off from the rear like this, and then it just has this little hook that's on the front. A little clip in the back, and then a little hook in the front. You have an aluminum chassis with oil-filled shocks. Pictures are coming up as I'm speaking to you. And that's the LCG styling that they have. So you can see here's your shock towers here, and then the frame rails run down, and then you have your motor, and you have your transmission there running into your diffs. So that's what they're talking about there. Your ESC is in the rear. The battery placement, the battery it comes with is a 750 milliamp JST plug LiPo, 2S battery. Comes with a charger here. Just got to plug that in. You just have to wait for it to go from red to green. If the battery's not plugged in, it'll just blink really fast. Servo on axle in the front. The shock bodies are plastic. The shock caps are aluminum. There's many different places on the frame rail where you can move the shocks. And of course, you can do a ton of upgrades, because many of the upgrades that you would have on this vehicle are the same as what you would have on a TRX-4M or an FMS or even the SCX24. So that tire size, wheel size there is a 1 inch, 1.2 inches, will fit. You can do extensions, you can do high clearance links and all those kinds of things. So let's just go over what else comes in the box, and then we're going to run it. The most important part would be this controller, because it doesn't just give you the steering and the throttle, but it also has the dual right there. I'm going to put a picture up so that you can see. It's a little big for the one-hand steering for me personally. If I try to do it either way. And in this video, you're going to see it's all one-hand steering. So I wasn't wonderful with it. But I mean, that's pretty much like a typical thing when it comes to these crawlers. This is a combination ESC receiver that it comes with right there. Let me see, there's not a lot of details on it. It'll tell you it has a BEC of 5 volts, 1 amp, and 2S LiPo on there. But if you want any more information on the ESC, you'll have to download it, because inside the box, this is the startup manual. You'd have to scan the barcode here to get that information, because this is one of those manuals where it's like, here, let's just get you going. Comes with some extra decals if you want to spice it up a little bit. And it comes with something really cool for guys that are into scale, and that is the ability to have body posts so that you don't have to run the clipless body if you don't want to. That's enough from me on showing you the Physical features of the vehicle. I guess I could have gotten you the kilograms on the servo, right? I'll just guess. I'm going to guess 4 kilograms. Is it 7? 4 kilograms. Nailed it. I feel pretty good about that. Coreless digital servo. Okay, let's run it. Prince here, my French bulldog, went right after it. Come over here, you. In slow-mo. Sometimes they'll go after the car, sometimes they ignore them. I have no idea. This day, and one of the reasons why you're listening to me instead of getting to hear this truck, and it's the motor sound that it makes, is because we had 6 dogs out there barking. 2 of mine and 2 of the neighbors and 2 of another neighbors. Here I'm just showing you basically, you know, how the turn radius is on it. Not as good as I had expected, but the speed of the vehicle was pretty quick. I really liked that. So it had the power there. You can see Prince wanted to go after it again. So if this was larger and it was a trail truck and you were doing it for scale, I mean, this would all be good, but that's not what we want to do with our smaller scale rigs. We want to climb, right? So let's get into that. And the first issue I had, this is pea gravel. It's been rinsed many times. It's not very dusty. The dust that's on those tires is from running it before when the dog was attacking it. And the thing could not get up, and it wasn't digging itself down into it either. Here comes Nico to try to help it up. And that, at first, I was like, okay, well, that's a little bizarre. I thought it would go right up that pile. And then I get to this dirt mound that is in the back. Thing's about 12 foot tall. And there are some serious inclines on it, but it's not muddy. You can see it's not rubbing off on the tires, but I was never able to get to the top of it. You're going to get another shot here, and you're going to see that it didn't matter whether I was trying to do a low and slow, like a barbecue, to crawl this thing, or if I was, you know, trying to hit this thing like a drag car to get it to go up this pile. It was nothing doing. And there is plenty there, you can see. There's plenty there to grab onto. So what I realize is that the low CG chassis, you know, is good because of where the motor is, but there's not enough. You can see the height right there of this vehicle as we're bouncing here. I mean, this is just me, you know, pulling the throttle. There's just not enough weight down low to get this thing to just sit and just crawl nicely. And this led to a ton of flipovers. And one of the things that happened during those flipovers was that even though it's a clipless body, the front portion that is like a hoop would come undone. And so the front was off, and then I would have to pull on the polycarbonate Lexan shell to put it back on. That happened about 3 times in a matter of 23 minutes that I did this video. You don't have to watch 23 minutes. I think you guys get like 13 minutes or something. But that's how long I was out there. And it kept flipping over. Now, most of the time the body stayed on, but there were 3 times where I had to reaffix the body. And so I thought that was a little peculiar there. So I'm going to see if there's a way I can tighten that up. We're going up this pile again. We do get up to it, up to the wood, and then I'll talk about what's going on once we get up there. So you see, I'm just powering up to get there. I take another angle so you can see what I'm trying to climb. You can see how severe the incline is for the truck. Now here we go. I got a right rear tire. If you can look for the right rear tire that's getting stuck on the bottom board. But the left front tire and the front of the car doesn't have any weight in it, right? So now if you could imagine this, if we didn't look at the body, that battery is sitting about parallel. So it doesn't matter that we're low CG because that battery that's more towards the back is sitting over the back tires. So I gotta pull with the front, which means I gotta get weight up front on this car. Now I am able to get this done, and then I give a little punch to make it happen. So we are going to make, you're not watching this so that I can just fail. But there will be a couple failures that you're going to see here that I think just a couple hop-ups would take care of. I'm going to mention those hop-ups now because Redcat knows by doing their R&D that this thing was going to need those products. So if you go to the Redcat page and you take a look when you're purchasing this vehicle, the hop-ups came out at the same time as the truck. They knew from everybody's experience with Axial and the SCX24s and everybody with their TRX4Ms that they were going to have hop-ups ready for this. Have to have the brass, have to have shock bodies and things like that, skid plates, and then to get the weight down low. So all of that is available on the Redcat site, and most of what I'm seeing for the TRX4M and some from the SCX24 will work on this rig. Here's a climb I'm never able to make, and basically what's happening is I don't have weight in the front to get over the top, and then the rear wheels are getting caught on the back. So even though I keep trying to reposition it, I could have been there. It wouldn't be any use for me to keep working at it and then to show you that I was able to do it if it took me a half an hour to do it. Instead, I'm going to show you out of the box, look, this is what happened to me. This is how it went. And then from there, you know, I'm coming up with like a hit list in my head of what do I want to upgrade first? Like, where do I want to put weight? I absolutely wanted to relocate the battery at the front. I absolutely wanted to get brass in the front. And so that's, you know, the parts that I would order up. Gonna go with the Endura 180 Pro motor in this thing. The motor positioning is just fine. I may extend the width of the wheelbase. The body makes it look like those wheels are like way out there. But the truth is, it's because the body is so tucked that the wheels are out. They're not actually out that far. The axles themselves aren't that wide. And so here, you know, this looks like it would be like a tough position that I'm in here. But I am able to get this done. And I was really happy about that one. This is all one-handed steering. And I will tell you, that's another thing. I'm going to have to put like either a rubber band. It was just out of reach for me to feel comfortable with one-handed steering. So this is all one-handed steering. This is pretty cool though. We get this done here. And to do this, you actually have to be able to get this, so you could see the two rights look like they're going to be fine, but you got a left up in the air, and the right left rear is up in the air as well. So you got to be able to do those both at the same time to be able to traverse that and not get the thing to fall. And then I get just a little bit further, and then I make a one-handed steering mistake, and I go in the wrong direction. I get myself in trouble. This is completely on me and not on the truck. You're going to see it right here. If you watch my front tires and where I'm going here. Watch this amateur move here coming up. There it is right there. Had I had that tire turned the opposite direction, I would have been fine, and I get myself in this jam. So that and the wind was going on the whole time. So I couldn't give you any of the vehicle running noises. I apologize. I know some people just love to hear that. I'm one of them. You know, especially when it's nitro. I don't run nitro anymore just because I like to clean the vehicles inside and to work on them, you know, on my kitchen table. And so I don't want all the grease and gas and everything else like that. And electric is so fast nowadays. But I'm getting off subject. We're going to do the TRX4M Special Edition, the black Chevy next. and we'll compare them. I'll run it in the same exact spot to show you how it does. And then we're going to do some upgrades on these. We're going to get that weight lower. We're going to start with changing those tires and getting some brass up front, putting the battery in the front of this Ascent. And then we'll see what we need to do on that TRX-4M. This has been John from Red Viking Hobbies. Thank you for watching. Please hit that subscribe button, and I hope I see you out there. Take care.